Hi chaps, MOP here from Beard, Biceps and Batchat. Today I am bringing you some gameplay in my T32. The reason being is I do a lot of Russian stuff, a lot of French stuff recently. So I wanted to bring you an American some American gameplay. This replay is also quite good because it highlights how to use the strengths of tanks in the sort of the best way possible, I suppose, is the best way to look at it. So with the T32, what's very good on this tank is the turret. The armor's really good, it's very well angled. The hull armor, not so great. I'm just going to point out, you've seen me switch to premium straight away. I'm running food. The reason being, I was 1 or 2% away from my second mark of excellence, so I didn't want to risk not getting it. So I've gone for a full premium loadout. Don't judge me, I just needed to get it. So where I'm going to position this tank to make the most of its turret armor is I'm going to go to the hill on C2, as you see me slowly making my way up there by some miracle deflecting shots off the turret. I don't know why they weren't aiming for the hull armor of the tank. Now what I'm going to look to do is just to use this hill to get side shots into the tank going through the pass, and also the tanks that are coming up on the opposite side of the hill. But there's a couple of places on this hill where I can position my tank solely. My turret is peeking out and I can take advantage of my gun depression. The deployment has been a little bit slow. We've got 3 reds still coming up from the 1 spawn. Also at this point I would have expected to see the red team push to that hill where T32 is. He's obviously bitten off a little bit more than he can chew, as you can see him swarming round. So what I'm going to do is just provide a bit of support and look to put shots into the tanks that push over. Now I've got to be a bit cautious because I've got a little bit of tunnel vision here. There's the first one into his track, and an E50's managed to sneak round. So what I want to do, put one into the front drive wheel, make sure he's no longer a threat to the rest of the team. There we go. Is he not dead? No, thought the fire would have got him if I didn't. No, one of the other guys had got him. But because I shot him, I've been taken apart a little bit on the flank by a VK and a TVP, I think it is. So I need to pull back a little bit and just reassess what I'm doing. Honestly, this is a little bit of a mistake. I'm overexposing my hull here when I Skoda T50, sorry, when I really don't need to. So what I'm going to look to do in a minute is just to pull back. All their shots are flying through the front of my hull. Again, just highlights how weak it is. So I'm going to pull back, just bounce a shot there, and just sort of re-aim my arm. Put the first shot into his front drive wheel. Again, pull back before they can retaliate. And I notice they've got a little bit aggressive here. There's the first one dead. Second shot into the Skoda T50. Ideally, I don't want those surviving to the end of the game. They've got a nasty clip on them, a lot of potential burst damage, so I want to do as much damage to them as possible. Now you'll notice there's a few more reds than there is greens knocking about at this point. I would love to take all the credit for the end outcome of this, but I really can't. We're sort of cleaning up on the rest of the battlefield, so we've just got to duke it out through here. Again, Skoda T50 is being quite cautious, so at this point I want to take out this VK. It's a nasty tier 9 when you're fighting it frontally, so I want to slow down his deployment, take his track out, give the guys some time to deal with the other tanks around them. Again, I'm just cresting the ridge, he's just shooting my turret, it's just going to bounce off me, so there's not a huge amount they can actually do to me when I'm in this position. Even though there's multiple enemies fighting me, should have got it, that tiger, that's a bad shot. Even though there's multiple enemies facing against me, I'm in a fairly strong position where they haven't flanked me, although they could down the one line. The tiger's trying to sort of elevate himself above me to get shots into my body armour. Again, I'm not letting him do it, I'm just pulling back. But you'll notice on the left hand side the Skoda T50 is coming round. Now I could push on him, but I take damage from the right hand flank. So what I want to do, just to assess whether I've got enough depression to take him out. I realise I don't, I want to pull back. Now I'm not overly concerned about him because this lovely chap, well this heavy tank takes him out, so I don't worry about him anymore and just look to help deal with this T29 and this VK that we've got left to do. So again, I'm putting the shot in, pulling back, trying to bait that shot from him first just to see if he'll take it so I can, there we go, puts it straight into my lower glacis, doesn't do much damage. Then we notice this VK has got a little cheeky, he knows he can crush me with his health, so I think Let's take out his front drive wheel, leave him pause there, RT slams in. I'm ready to put another shot into his lower glacis. I'm just checking both tracks. He wisely pulls back, so I slam one into the T33. We've managed to get both the T29, T43 and the VK down to one shot. So there's me and the heavy on my left alive. I can take a hit from one of them, so I take out the VK first, that being the biggest threat. I just make sure I get it into him, aiming. I just make sure his flank is straight to me as well, so there's no chance of a deflection. Then push on the T29. I get a fairly high roll on my damage there, manage to take him out as well. Now it's at this point I'm thinking I'm probably going to get my second mark, but I'm not fully sure, so I'm desperately making my way over to the enemy base to try and catch a couple of the cheeky chaps out and get a little bit more damage. But what I want you to take away from this video is, aside from my obvious use of premium consumables and ammunition in this game, is look for locations at engagement points that benefit the strengths of your tank. Oh, this is a great shot. Boom. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I have to watch that. Yeah, that benefit your tank. So if you've got a good turret, look to get hold down in the engagement point, in a choke point, and make sure you can't get flanked. If you're getting flanked, reposition. If you're a fast tank, take advantage of nice open spaces with lots of cover so you can move in between the cover. Again, T32, ideal for using its turret armour. The crew in this, I should probably point out, I don't think it's even got one skill. The crew that was in here originally have moved on up to the E5. I just repurchased the tank again, just because I hadn't played it in a while. I noticed my stats were fairly decent in it. So with the end of that game, we managed to get 3 kills, 4,000 XP, 6,000 combined damage, 2,000 blocked high caliber. We've got our mastery, 2 marks of excellence, steel wool, Confederate. Overall, a pretty good game. Hopefully not all down to the premium consumables. I hope you enjoyed the video, chaps. Let me know your thoughts in comments below on using tanks to their strengths, and I'll catch you next time.